Hello and welcome to Drive Time Discussion Time podcast with your host Taylor Frey, the one-man podcast, one infinite amount of opinions and stories, featuring one special guest, accompanied by two dogs. I'm here, finally gotten Brody on this podcast. Brody, introduce yourself.
I'm Brody. First time being on the internet.
Yeah, and then we got two dogs here, so I don't know. They probably won't be much of a nuisance later in the podcast, but got two adorable dogs, one squeaky toy. One squeaky toy. All right. So today's podcast, the last several episodes of this podcast, I've spent just talking about Japan and talking about anime. I want to kind of throw a bone in between, I guess, and talk about gaming because, who doesn't love playing games? Okay, so me and Brody are going to discuss here what games that we enjoyed playing and just talk a little bit about them in every single way that we possibly can. So I guess the first game that I kind of want to talk about is mainly Minecraft.
Oh, yeah.
I love. I think you were the one that got me into Minecraft back in fourth grade?
Fourth grade.
It was one of those. Either or. I remember in our elementary school, we had a little computer lab that we went down. We went down, and I remember downloading Minecraft because on the outside of the elementary school, we do have a little track, and that's when you got me into Toby Turner.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Toby Turner. And then I watched him play Minecraft a little bit. And then that's what got me into getting into Minecraft. And then I've spent good 5-6 years devoting my life to Minecraft. Playing the PC version, playing the console versions. And now we're spending, 2 years on one Minecraft world building a castle.
Yeah, it's been a trip.
Yeah. The world is so old that right next to it's one of the old villages. And
everyone's dead. There's no one there anymore.
No one's alive in that place anymore. There's been times where I wanted to defend the village, but it's so overran with zombies. Because the thing is that Minecraft's spawning rate or whatever when it comes to zombies and skeletons for whatever reason has gotten worse and worse.
Yeah.
Because I remember back in a couple years ago, you could put up one torch and for a 3-chunk radius, no monsters would spawn. Yeah. But now it's you place one torch, that's where a monster's spawning.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
Yeah,
especially the desert.
Oh yeah,
Desert's crazy.
Yeah, and then we spent a good 2 hours destroying a mountain because it got in our way.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that was the worst highlight I've ever had in Minecraft. Ever. Yeah, because not only did we have to destroy it bit by bit, but we also had to make it look like it was still it was a natural generated structure. And, oh god, that was terrible. Yeah.
The worst part about that was when we were flattening it out. And we had to place a whole bunch of grass and a bunch of sand. I had to go out with a silk touch shovel and just broke 5 shovels in the process. But it Minecraft's that kind of game where it doesn't matter how long you played it for, a month or a decade. It would still be a fun game to play because of the infinite amount of possibilities and stuff like that. And Minecraft it's not the only biggest game that I could really talk about. One of them that I want to talk a little bit about is the Call of Duty series.
Yeah, that started it all.
Yeah, Black Ops 1. Yeah. My first Call of Duty game that I bought was Black Ops 2. I played the most Call of Duty game was Black Ops 3.
Yeah, that was a big one.
Yeah. I remember, God, the whole process of getting dark matter. Oh, I couldn't do it.
No, I managed to do it, but
It took forever. It took a lot of rage.
I want my life back. Yeah.
Oh my god. It was... God, Call of Duty Black Ops 3 was so stressful. It was so terrible. Oh my god. Like, the game itself was somewhat fun, but when they took, like, you know, when they went the advanced warfare route with all the exo jumps and stuff like that,
it's a huge difference from
like the early Black Ops games.
Yeah, from my favorite game, Black Ops 1.
Mm-hmm.
It's so much faster, so much
more chaotic.
Yeah, so much crazier.
It's see, I played a lot of Ghost, okay? And a lot of people kind of didn't like Ghost, but I kind of enjoyed Ghost a little bit, but I didn't play it as much as I played like Black Ops 2 or Black Ops 3, but I played Black Ops 1, and I've played a little bit of the Modern Warfare games, but I haven't even played this most recent Call of Duty game yet.
Yeah.
I need to, though.
It's very similar to the first Modern Warfare ever came out. In fact, it has a lot of the same maps that one did. That scared the crap out of me. But
I kind of expected that, to be honest. Like, he was moving around. But I did play the beta, and I really enjoyed the beta a lot. It's just I haven't had much time nor the money to really get into the Modern Warfare game just quite yet. I do plan on getting it maybe soon if they... Yeah, God, I don't know what this upcoming Call of Duty game is going to be about, but hopefully it's almost the same as Modern Warfare.
Yeah, it's going to be by Sledgehammer, I think, which doesn't have a great rep.
That's true. Sledgehammer really doesn't have that good of a reputation. They made some... Weren't they the ones that made...
They made Advanced Warfare.
Yeah.
And they made World War II.
Yeah. Which... Call of Duty World War II was all right. It wasn't like...
Yeah, it was a step in the right direction.
Yeah, it's like Sledgehammer knew what they did wrong, and they tried to fix it, and they did it. They did all right. It's just, it's kind of like in a sense, it's kind of like they had to try and rebuild what was popular from the ground up. And
I think they kind of fixed it too much.
Yeah.
Because everything got really slow.
Yeah. The thing is that when you go from Black Ops 3 or Advanced Warfare, where everything's like crazy, you gotta have your sensitivity all the way up in order to like keep up with everything that's happening. But you go from that to like World War II, where it's just like everything's so slow. It's like, come on, something happened already.
Yeah, it was incredibly slow.
Yeah.
I played that game for maybe an hour in total. I'm like,
yeah, too slow.
About to fall asleep.
Yeah, friggin' but with Black Ops 3, I remember the whole like loot boxes and stuff like that, and everybody wanting to get those guns and weapons. And I remember your luck was incredible.
Yeah,
you would get like every other like rare supply drop would have a weapon or two in there.
The Fury Song, the big sword.
Oh my god.
The NX Shadow Claw.
My favorite melee weapon was the Fury Song.
Yeah, the Fury Song was cool.
Oh my god, it was amazing. And I had like no luck whatsoever. I had none.
So much money.
I hate to admit this, but I spent so much money just to try and see if I can get a weapon.
Yeah.
Because that's all I wanted was like a weapon. But I couldn't get a weapon to save my life. I think I ended up getting like the freaking butterfly knife or something. I hate, it's like, it was it was so annoying because the butterfly knife is just a knife, but you could flip it.
Yeah, I mean,
and then you get like the Fury Song, which is like a sword, and you had what else did you have? Oh crap! What were some of the other ones? But
there was nunchucks.
Yeah, nunchucks. Those were pretty good.
There's a little bit of everything in there.
Yeah, and then you got like those freaking guns and stuff like that. That if you got them, like there were some that weren't that like overpowered. Like the MX Grand or the M1 Grand, whatever it was called. It wasn't like like OP, but it was like if you got it, then wow, another weapon to get gold or whatever. It was it was a good gun. And then you get like the Shadow Claws.
Shadow Claws were insane.
Which if you had all the attachments on there, like the right attachments.
Yeah, there's Tri-Bolt. There's a Kimbo.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and you use that and just spam the LT and RT button or R1, R2, depending on what console you're playing. You would pretty much guaranteed a freaking shot or two, depending on where you were shooting at. Yeah. And since you would probably have like a tri-bolt or whatever, there's a chance that you would probably get like freaking quad feed in like 2 attempts or something like that.
Yeah, I've gotten 2 kills with 1 shot before. I've never got all 3. But I got the FFAR.
Oh yeah.
I've never spent a dime in that game, but I still got all of them.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like that's the thing. You never spent a dime, and you got like a crap ton of those weapons.
Yeah.
I spent like $80 to $100, and I got nothing except maybe a butterfly knife. And I do remember getting.
You got the Banshee.
Yeah, which was pretty good.
Yeah.
But if we're talking about Black Ops 3, Brecci.
The Brecci. Oh, yuck.
Yikes.
Yuck.
I don't.
That is
one nasty gun. That was a nasty gun.
Whoever made that gun is not my friend.
It was a nasty gun. It's like if you had that in your loadout, you were going to be hated.
And when there's one Brecci, all the Brecci come out.
Yeah. When there's one, 12 men. Yeah. One Brecci. Oh my god. My favorite shotgun though was the Argus.
The Argus was cool. I like the Argus. It's like the KSG.
Yeah.
In, Black Ops 2.
Yeah, it's like that was one of my favorites because what I loved the most about it is whenever you did like that power slide, you like hit fired. It was amazing. It's like you slide, boom, hit fire. It was incredible. That's kind of one of my favorite things about the Black Ops 3 was the sliding. Because I did love the dolphin dive, but when you do the power slide and get a shot, it feels incredible.
Yeah, it really does. And you can go so fast with power slides.
Yeah.
I mean, at least it feels like you're going fast.
Yeah.
It's a whole new mechanic that I feel that adds a lot to the game.
It does. But I do love like I do kind of miss like the whole like dolphin dive, like how it was at Black Ops 1 or 2, where if you were running and you like did the dolphin dive, you would just fly. You would fly.
Yeah, you got some major air.
Yeah, and like I think I can't remember if it was Black Ops 1 or Black Ops 2, but if you took like any damage while doing the dolphin dive, you were dead.
I think it was Black Ops 2.
Because I remember like in Hollywood and Search and Destroy, whenever you did like the dolphin dive outside the windows or whatever, there'd be times where people would dolphin dive and accidentally kill themselves.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I do miss about like the good old Black Ops days was, and the Modern Warfare days, of course, is the game chats.
Oh, game chat was so good.
Especially when you're like in Search and Destroy and you're forced into game chat.
Yeah, you can even be in a party.
Yeah.
The old games.
Yeah. Like many people don't know this because many of the kids don't remember this, but whenever you were in a party in Xbox 360 days and you went to a Search and Destroy match in Black Ops 1 or 2, it would immediately be like, hey man, you gotta switch to game chat.
Yeah.
And then, you were in game chat. And that still exists in the backwards compatibility, but nobody does it because
you don't get the same effect.
Yeah, because nobody's in parties anymore on the Xbox One. Yeah. And even if they are, they're in party chat. They're not forced into game chat. Which I wish there was a way that they could implement that because, God, game chat was so amazing. It
was so good. 9-year-old me was terrified of game chat. I'm like, there's these big, bad, scary people on here.
Yeah.
I was too shy to go on, but man, I've heard some crazy conversations go down on game chat.
And what I love the most about it is, of course, because it's not only the game chat of your team, but the entire game. So anybody could smack talk each other, whether it's a teammate or a foe, which was hilarious. And the most hilarious part, is when you kill somebody and you get that 1.5 second, 1.5 to 2 second little audio clip of their game chat.
You just get the reaction, and it's so funny.
Sometimes it'd be hilarious, and it's even better when they have a Connect mic. So you could hear the gunshots. You could hear
the anger in their voice.
And you could hear their TV. Like you could hear that squeaky toy. Calm down, Max.
If anyone wants 2 free dogs,
yeah,
take them.
Got a couple dogs here that we'd like to give away. They're pretty freaking ornery. They don't know when to calm down. On drugs. And then you got Flossie right next to you.
Flossie's a needy one. If you like cuddles.
We're crazy dogs. But no, I absolutely I really miss the good old like Black Ops 1 or 2 days with the search and destroys and the game chats, especially the Modern Warfare days, because those were like boom higher levels of crazy.
Yeah.
But Call of Duty right now, I believe, is in its going in the right direction. With Modern Warfare this year, okay. I just hope that Sledgehammer can redeem themselves, because their last few games that they've made so far, they've just really haven't been the way that they should.
No, it doesn't even feel like Call of Duty sometimes. I mean,
I remember World War II felt more like a Battlefield game.
Yeah, it did. It felt a lot like a Battlefield game. Kind of looked like one too.
It's like the one thing that I like. This is like a little picky of a thing to really like talk about. But like when you're waiting for the next game to start, and you just see the list of people on the right, your like loadout class and stuff like that on the left, and then you got like the 3 map choices on the bottom, or 4 at sometimes. And you know, in World War II and I believe Modern Warfare, it was just reduced to like, here's your soldier like constantly going through this like fog or whatever, and you couldn't really. It's like those stuff like that kind of turns people away from it. Like it turned me away from it a little bit, because it's like it may have been like simple and may have been like a little boring to like most people, but to like people like me who really enjoyed the aspect of like, you know, seeing the 3 possible maps that we'd be going on to and stuff like that. It's like nobody even votes for the next map anymore, because it's all like down at the very bottom.
Yeah, it's a lot more interactive nowadays, but I don't know. It's kind of nostalgic having the old school picking system with that.
Yeah.
I mean, every game since 2010 has done that.
Yeah. What else was there? I was gonna. Oh yeah. With Black Ops 3, when they introduced the emotes and stuff near the end of the game, where they did the top 3s. Oh god.
Yeah, that was definitely a con.
There was a lot of.
Even if you won, it was painful to see some of the things that were added into that game.
These upgrades, you never stood a chance. Because I talked about Battlefield because of like World War II, and you really haven't been much of a Battlefield person.
I have not. I mean,
you played Battlefield 1.
I played Battlefield 1. Battlefield 4 was awesome.
Dude.
Yeah.
Dude, okay. Anybody who has played Battlefield 4, my god, it is incredible.
Yeah,
okay.
It is.
When you get to that Operation Locker,
yeah.
It is chaos. It is flat out chaos for like the 20 minutes or so that the game goes on.
Yeah, it
or
was
hour.
Insane.
And then you get to like the one thing about Battlefield is that it's not like the Call of Duty games where it's like fast paced, unless you get into some of those smaller maps.
Yeah, it's kind of just a slow burn over time.
Yeah, but that's what I love about Battlefield. Okay, it's like you have to pick your moves correctly, and you can't really like mess up, or else you're like won't be able to find your next enemy for like 3 minutes at a time.
Yeah, it's definitely a change of pace, but sometimes it's enjoyable.
Yeah. See, with there was Battlefield 1, which I played a good bit of, which I enjoyed Battlefield 1.
Yeah, Battlefield 1 was fun.
Yeah, and then Battlefield 5 came along, and it's just like that's the same thing as Battlefield 1, just maybe different maps and different times. So it's like not really worth it.
I've yet to play Battlefield 1.
I've
heard it's not anything spectacular.
Yeah, it's just kind of the same as Battlefield 1, just set in World War II. Yeah. There is one thing though that I want to discuss, and that was the old WWE games.
Oh, 2007.
2007 is the best. Okay, I think my first WWE game that I ever played was, I think it was 07. I can't remember. It was either 07 or 08, and I tried to go back to play 07, and like the controls are just way too different.
Yeah.
But it's amazing still. I remember a few years ago when we went into an online match, and we just like messed around with the referee until like we got disconnected.
Yeah.
I don't know if the servers are still on though.
I don't know.
There may be a chance we could still do that.
Yeah. If you have any chance of playing that game, you gotta play it,
dude. It's amazing. Okay, I will say that the whole like pay-per-view mode where you can create your own pay-per-view, that was a great like it felt so like good when you like played like a WrestleMania 22 that pay-per-view mode, or when you created your own pay-per-view. God, that was amazing. And then they introduced, I think it was 2007 where they introduced GM mode.
Yeah, I think it is. It is.
It was either because GM mode is probably one of the best modes in a WWE game, because you know you can control your own like superstars and destinies and stuff like that. It's amazing. And Universe mode kind of does that in the newer games, but the newer WWE games are just flat out broken.
Oh yeah, I've seen so many videos of people just flying through walls.
Yeah, it's broken.
Getting stuck in the cell. I mean, it is crazy.
The best WWE game to come out of the Xbox One series so far, or the PS4 series, is 2K16.
Yeah.
Because when they brought everything into 2K15 into like the Xbox, which was the first one at the time for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, it was terrible. Yeah. Because it had no match types. It had like a very abysmal My Career mode. Universe was stale. The Creation Suite was lackluster. It was like very poor. Okay, and then you get to 2K16, and it's like all the creation thing that was supposed to be a 2K15 was there, and everything just felt perfect. And then from 17 on downwards, got worse and worse with the bugs, with the glitches, and it just kept getting worse from there.
Yeah.
And if you want the peak WWE gaming experience, of course you would go with either 07 or 08.
Oh yeah, there was 07 soundtrack was amazing. Oh my God. The soundtrack was...
Dude, I could go on and on about old video game soundtracks because
so much better.
Yeah, the early to late 90s all the way up to like 2010, all the games that were released at the time had kick-ass soundtracks.
Yeah, they were incredible.
Amazing soundtracks.
It was more of a grunge.
There was there was a mix of everything if you play everything. It's like in Madden, if you go to like Madden 08 or Madden 07, they had a mix of rock, pop, and rap.
Yeah. And
then you get to like 2007 where literally every song is rock.
Yeah.
Like they had 3 Days Grace on there, like 2 or 3 songs from them. And then they had Godsmack on there. Who else did they have? They had a lot of good soundtracks on there. A lot of good songs, I mean. God, it's... And then once the new decade came from 2010, everything for soundtracks just...
It's like, I feel like most of the songs in those big games turned mostly to rap. I've heard so many rap songs in the newer, what do I say, AAA, somewhat like that. Yeah, games that have soundtracks in general. Yeah.
Because it's like, if the game doesn't have a soundtrack, it has a soundtrack mainly for rap or pop.
Yeah.
It doesn't have much for rock. And if it does, it's like to discuss a little bit of music, it's like, it's more like the newer newer rock music, which isn't really that good. Like some of the older rock songs are better. It's like there's some good rock songs today, but it's like
early 2000s. You can't beat early 2000s.
You can't beat them. Can't beat them. And if you were born in 2010 or a little while, or even in the late 2000s, you missed out.
Yeah, I apologize.
Because man, it's the early 2000s with the games was incredible. You had games like Burnout. You had games like the old Madden and the old SmackDown vs. Raw games, which were incredible. Then you got the Halo series.
Halo was...
Oh my God. Oh, I remember I've never, and I hate to say this, I've never actually completed a game of Halo.
Oh.
Like story. I've gotten so close to Halo 3's ending before because there was one day back in like 2014 or something like that, where me and one of my old buddies named Hayden, you remember him, I think.
Yep.
We played Halo 3 split screen for like 7 hours straight, and we almost had it beaten. And then as soon as we put the game down, we never went back to it. And that irks me.
We'll have to fix that, Taylor.
Yeah, we really do.
All the Halo games are
incredible.
Yeah.
And I went back to play Halo 3 not too long ago, and my God, do I miss that game.
Yeah, Halo 3's.
Yeah, it got like, I missed it, because all the Halo games had good stories, all the Halo games had great, like, especially soundtracks.
Mm-hmm.
Who could forget the awesome intro soundtrack? Yeah. But, oh my God, there needs to be more games like Halo with good sound, because most campaign games today, there really aren't that like good, I guess. Like,
they're not that immersive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Halo, it felt like you were fighting for the world.
Yeah.
You could really, although Master Chief doesn't say much, you could relate to him in a way.
Yeah.
It was, I don't know. Halo's something special.
It is. It really is.
I haven't played any of the newer Halo. I haven't played Halo 5. I can't speak for that, but
I think I played up to Halo Reach a little bit, and then didn't really do much after that.
Halo's Reach's matchmaking was something else.
Yeah, it was.
Infected was such a good game mode.
It was. Oh man, I feel like though, did Halo 3 have matchmaking back then? Because I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah,
it did. It wasn't that in depth, but it did have it.
Okay, because I was trying to think if it had it or not, because it's been so long, like I said, it's been so long since I've actually played it. But yeah, it's just the good old days were the early to mid 2000s, of course.
Yeah, of course. They're very nostalgic for both of us, I'd imagine.
Oh,
but
yeah, because we were both born in 2000, 2001.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
don't get me wrong, there are some incredible games that have come out in the past like 5-6 years, of course.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it feels more nostalgic to go back and think about like the old like Battlefield and Call of Duty, Halo, and even Minecraft.
Back to childhood, yeah.
The good old childhood days or whatever. Excuse me. There is one game that I've gotten somewhat back into, and you really haven't played much of it, but it's Overwatch.
No, I've never played much of Overwatch. I've played a few games.
Yeah. But, God, if you try to play that game now, it is freaking intense, because they changed a lot of stuff, okay? Because back then you could, like, pick whatever hero you want. Now you have to, like, you have, like, a specific role that you're supposed to play, so it's a fair 2 tank, 2 support, 2 heal, 2 damage. So, it's more of on the fair side, especially for competitive games.
Huh.
But, and then they announced Overwatch 2, which it's kind of the same as Overwatch, but now you can upgrade your heroes. So like with Tracer, for example, her ultimate, which would still be the pulse bomb, you can upgrade it to where it has a bigger explosion radius. So you can make it like a freaking nuke.
Is it going to be more of like? Is it going to be a whole separate game?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not going to just be like an add-on to.
No. It's a whole separate game, and they have like it actually has a campaign mode.
Oh,
so
really?
You go through like different stages of each character, I think. I don't know the exact campaign yet, but it's like I looked at one of their trailers for it, and I'm quite interested in it because it's like it's the same game as Overwatch, but there's several new heroes, there's several new mechanics, and there's a campaign in general. So I'm interested to see where that comes out. I don't think it'll be. I hope to God it's not sold for full price, like $60, because I really don't see it as something that could be costly at $60, because it's kind of the same, but maybe like 40 to $50.
Unfortunately, since it is a big title, I guarantee it's gonna be $60.
Unfortunately, I do think that is true as well. Is there anything else we would like to talk about for gaming, like nostalgia wise or whatever? Because personally, for me, I've played a lot of like NASCAR games and Burnout games, and both of those have unfortunately taken a huge downhill
When's the last? Is NASCAR even making it?
Yeah. They made a game last year.
Did they?
They're going with NASCAR Heat games. They're made by they're made by the same company that made the Dirt to Daytona game that was like very popular back in the day, but it's still kind of down there it's kind of like a below average game. It's like they're slowly getting better and better, but it's just not right now is probably the best time to get their games or whatever. But like back in the old days, like Thunder 2004 or Chase for the Cup or Total Team Control, amazing games, obviously, but they have their flaws, of course. Yeah. And I'm not sure there's much else to really say.
There's one game series. I know that you've never played this game series because it's on PlayStation only. God of War.
Oh, I've heard of it.
Oh. Every game, minus one, Ascension. All of them are masterpieces. They're all so good. And that's including the latest one. Which just came out in 2018? I think it was 18. Every one of them is a masterpiece. And all of them are single-player only games, which isn't very common anymore today.
That's true. It's always like multiplayer, like based game, which I can understand to some extent because multiplayer is a big thing.
Yeah, you want to play, interact with other people.
You interact with other people. You play against other people.
Prove you're the best.
Pretty much, and you want to, if you want to play with friends, multiplayer.
Yeah.
But
when you think single player, you think, how can that be fun if I'm not interacting with my friends? But
yeah,
it's such a good game.
What makes a good single player kind of is like if you could do it co-op, like a co-op campaign or whatever. Because some games do that, and they it helps out a lot.
Yeah, like all the Halos can do that.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't have to be co-op, but if it is co-op, it's like something that could really be a good thing. But actually, there is one series that I'm surprised we didn't talk about because it's a big thing for you, the Borderlands series.
Oh, the Borderlands series. Ooh. Yeah, Borderlands. I've always played Borderlands on single player. But co-op is so much more fun.
Co-op is so much fun, but when you get somebody who's played the game for like hundreds of hours to thousands of hours, which is you, to somebody who really hasn't played much of it, which is me, it's sometimes it's still fun. I love the Borderlands series because I played a lot of the Borderlands 1 and I played a little bit of Borderlands 2, and God, those are some fun games. I haven't gotten the chance to play 3 yet.
3's a good addition. Of course, pre-sequel, arguably the worst in the series, but it's still an above average game. I mean, all of the Borderlands games have been above average.
Yeah. I remember you first getting me into Borderlands. I think, was it Borderlands 2 that we first played? Yeah. And oh my God, it was so much fun. It was so much fun playing the Borderlands series.
It really is such a fun game. I've never played that game and been bored at the same time.
Exactly. Because every time that I was online on Xbox at one point and I go to your profile, it's like Brody is playing Borderlands 2, level 200. I'm just like, Jesus.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised if I get my character up to level 10 in 10 minutes. You can get yours to level 100 in seconds.
Yeah.
Get all the good weapons. I'm just sitting here still getting commons.
Yeah.
50% into the game, but yeah, I think the farthest I've gotten into Borderlands, I think I've gone halfway through the story. I think maybe a little. I don't think halfway, but I've gotten really. I want to say at least a couple hours into the game.
They're long games.
They're really long games. Yeah. I mean, we all know the very best very long games are the very long visual novels.
Yeah.
Which, well, we're not going to get into... We'll get into anime and stuff probably in the next episode because we can go on and on about that.
Stay out of that cesspool for now.
Just for now. But, okay, we discussed Minecraft at the beginning, and as much as we loved playing Minecraft, I don't think there's any game that we haven't had as much fun as playing Terraria.
Yeah, definitely.
Because we went into Terraria super blind, and it was the best thing that we could have ever done.
Yeah, I would give anything back to play that game blind again.
Because technically, since we haven't played it in 2 years, we're probably going to be going into it blind again with this new update that's coming out. because we spent like, we spent an entire summer or whatever building our house or whatever.
And it's such an ugly house, but it was our first one.
It was our first
so
house.
Proud.
Yeah, and we built I can't remember, but I think it looks like a hotel.
Yeah, it's pretty much a bunch of squares organized together, so it looks like a hotel. I mean,
what more can you ask for? Because and my favorite memory of playing Terraria was our first encounter with the Eye of Cthulhu.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
Yeah, because we didn't even know there's bosses in the game at that point. I mean, we see a message in the bottom left of the screen that says an ominous or an evil presence is watching you.
Yeah.
We're like,
what's this?
That's kind of strange.
That's kind of strange.
And then all of a sudden I see a giant floating eye coming towards me. It was just...
There's a lot of screaming. and you were like hundreds of blocks away from the house.
Yeah.
Because you went out and went on.
Yeah, I was in the corruption.
Yeah. And you were doing your thing, killing off monsters and stuff like that. I can't remember exactly what for. But then the Eye of Cthulhu comes and I see at the bottom left it's he has arrived or whatever. Awakened, yeah.
Yeah.
And then all I hear for the next 10 seconds is, "Oh my god! Oh my god! What is happening? What is it?" And then you die.
Oh, so good.
And then you die, and then and then all I'm hearing from you is, "Taylor, look out! He's coming for you! He's coming for you!" And I'm just like, "Wait, what?" And he shows up at her house, and I'm just like, "Oh my god!"
Kills us, kills the NPCs.
It was awful, and we couldn't kill him because we had swords, we had the most basic equipment. And we couldn't kill him. And then as soon as daylight comes, he just leaves. And we're just like, ah, thank God. And then now we got those freaking fire pistols or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
And every time we shoot them, they're just they just freaking annihilate. It's like a 10 shot with the bullets, and just he's dead.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And then we got I don't know, is it you that's the magic person, or is it?
It's me. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think I'm the one, because I really can't do well with magic.
Yeah, you're melee.
Yeah, I'm more like a melee or a gun person.
Yeah.
So, God, we need to get back into that game though.
Absolutely. I think I'm gonna play it tonight.
Because God, it is so much fun. Because it's because with our situation, we went in it blind, and you did all the research and stuff with everything, just so we weren't stuck at a specific point, and we weren't making dumb mistakes. Well, we were, but not
not critical mistakes.
Yeah. And then there was oh my god, we have stories of all the bosses we could really talk about.
Yeah.
But
every one of them.
Yeah. But I can't really remember much of them. I remember the twins. Those were a freaking nightmare.
Yeah.
What was that? What was that wall boss?
The Wall of Flesh.
Yeah, the Wall of Flesh. Ugh.
Yeah, the Wall of Flesh he was our first hard boss. I mean, Eye of Cthulhu wasn't that bad. We got it down. Yeah. Wall of Flesh was a challenge.
It was. Because we had to set up teleporters or whatever at the end of each of the things. And it was
no, that was Plantera.
Oh, that was Plantera. Yeah, you're right.
The Wall of Flesh, we had to build the big bridge in the underworld.
Oh, yeah, the underworld. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
God, I remember that. Because, I remember we spent, 3 hours in the underworld, trying not to die, but also trying to build this bridge so that way it was, so that way it would not, kill us.
Yeah.
And, oh, my God, it's what... And I remember the whole thinking process is, what happens if we run out of bridge? It's hey, we don't kill this thing. It's oh, we're screwed then because we don't have a teleporter.
Yeah.
Because I think if you teleport too far away, it disappears or whatever.
Yeah. In fact, the Wall of Flesh, if you teleport, you explode when you get there and you die. If you do play Terraria, go in blind. That's the best way to play it.
The best way to play Terraria is just don't do any research. Don't even listen to the part of the podcast where we're talking about how to defeat any of it. Just literally install the game, go into the world, and if you have to do a little bit of research, go ahead, but don't get too crazy into it.
It's a learning experience.
It is, and that's what I love about Terraria, is that it's a big learning experience. And if you have if you know what you're doing in Terraria, then you can obviously defeat all the bosses.
Yeah, you can breeze through the game.
Yeah, it's that. I love Terraria, but it's kind of like Minecraft in the sense that when you play it the first time, that's the best time.
Yeah, it definitely is.
It's like any game that's like Minecraft or Terraria or like Borderlands, where it's like a campaign or whatever.
When it's a learning experience.
When it's a learning experience, the first time's the best time.
Absolutely.
I mean, that could be said with literally anything in the world. Like watching a television series for the first time without any spoilers, going into it blind, probably the best time you'll ever watch something, and then you'll watch it like 3 or 4 times. It's like, I've seen what's happened already, so,
Something you'll never get back.
Yeah, it's like there'll be times where it's like, God, I wish I had that back. Because I remember, to change the game title back to the SmackDown games just for a moment, I remember like back in SmackDown vs. Raw 2007 with the whole pay-per-view mode. I remember setting up like a very long like pay-per-view where like every match was a ladder match, 6-man ladder match, because those matches would go on for ages if you have like all computer opponents. And I would just set them up to where, because I would have like this like a teddy bear or like this like a life-size I want to say doll or whatever, and I would wrestle it for like the amount of time that it would the pay-per-view would be spent. So it would be like a very long Iron Man match. And oh my God, it's like, that was so much fun. Because my bed took a lot of punishment during that time. Okay? Because it was like a very normal, it was like the amount of like times it was used as a ring, and the amount of times, because like the corners of my bed were like used as turnbuckles, so I would jump and do the Randy Savage elbow drops. I don't know if those springs held up. There's just some bad times on that bed.
Do you still have that bed?
I don't know if I have that mattress anymore. I doubt it, actually.
It's like a pancake.
Yeah, it's like a freaking like a deflated air mattress.
Yeah.
It's like doesn't exist anymore. Oh man, there are some good times with gaming though.
Yeah.
Especially like when you, like I said before, when you play them blind.
Yeah. Blind gaming
is the best.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh my God. Trying to think if there was some other games. If I can't think of any. Yeah, some super influential games. Oh, Happy Wheels.
Happy Wheels was...
That was something. That game's still, like, it's not big, but it's still, like, it still has its little following.
Yeah, it's still there.
Yeah. But, like, oh my God, when you watch, like, Toby Turner play it.
Yeah.
Toby Turner, and you got PewDiePie who played it every once in a while. My God, that was freaking amazing. The good old times of YouTube back in, like, 2012 or 13.
You can cuss without being demonetized.
You can do... I remember, very, very long time ago, you didn't even have to have like 100 subscribers, not even 1,000, and you could make money off of YouTube because of the ads. But no, that all had to change. Remember Leafy? Good God.
What even happened to him? Did he disappear?
He disappeared a little while, and I think he's coming back right now. I'm not sure. But he disappeared because he wanted to like... I don't know if he really didn't like YouTube anymore. I can't remember the exact reason, because I stopped watching him a few months before he disappeared, or like a year before he disappeared. So I can't really tell you. Somebody probably knows, but God, you go like when you think about like all the good games and stuff from like the 80s and 90s with like Mario, Sonic, Banjo-Kazooie. all those good old classic 80s and 90s games. We like to talk more about like the early 2000s, like Minecraft.
Those games before 2000s was hard.
Yeah, the no save point games. Oh my God. Good old Mario 64.
Mario 64 is a great game.
I recommend that. Oh my God, it's like there's ways to play these games nowadays without a use of the console. You can use like an emulator, because that's how sometimes I play like these old games, like the SmackDown vs. Raw games. I play them on emulators because sometimes I don't have the consoles. I do have the PlayStation 2 still, which I don't have many games for, because I remember selling a PlayStation 2 a couple of years ago, and then I bought a GameCube a few years later, and then I think I still have that GameCube. I'm not sure. Oh no, I gave it to my mom. That's right. So my little sister could play that. But there was that, and then there was and then I bought the PlayStation 2 last year when I went to Comic-Con earlier this year which was only like $30, so it was pretty cheap. And it came with like 3 games that it could buy. So
PlayStation 2 was so good.
It was. Oh my god, you can't compete with the PlayStation 2. It was freaking incredible. All the good games, all the good times with it, and all the scary moments with the PlayStation. Boom. The good console, and then I don't think I have 07 on there, but I have Madden 08 on the console. But what was I gonna say? One game that I don't know if you've played this, but it was the old SpongeBob SquarePants the movie game.
Yeah, I've played that.
The movie game?
Yeah.
Oh my god. I tried to play that again. It's like I don't know how I beat this as a kid. I can't remember how to beat it. Cuz it's like I thought at first you would have to go through like many different like easy stages, but then you have to do like several different variations of those set stages. It's like, "Oh my god, it's so freaking difficult."
I know. It really is hard.
Like I don't know. I don't remember the game being that difficult as a kid. I remember I easily blazed through it and won it in like a week. But I spent a week trying to do that same thing. And I was like, how the heck did I do this?
Yeah, is it the one where you have to do like play the same map, but you have different challenges on that map to do it?
Yeah. There's times where you'll have to like if you do like some of the Krabby Patty missions where you have to like drive a car or whatever, you have to like beat it in a certain amount of time.
Yep.
While at the same time you have to like collect like a certain amount of rings or whatever to get to the finish. Yeah, there was that. And then there was like I can't remember the map's name, but it was so big and so confusing. You played it with Patrick a little bit, and then you played it with SpongeBob a little bit. It's like
Jellyfish Fields or something.
I don't think it was. I can't remember all the maps' name, but my god, some of the maps were so freaking incredibly massive and so like tedious. It's like if you didn't do one thing right, you were stuck. And oh my god, there were. I don't know how I beat it as a kid, but yeah, I was a big SpongeBob SquarePants movie game person as a kid. Okay, because it was probably one of my favorite movies as a kid in general. Because
still one of my favorite.
It's probably one of the better SpongeBob movies. Probably the best. No, there's no way you could beat that movie at all.
Sponge out of water it was an experience.
Yeah, it was.
It certainly was.
But yeah, there's nothing that could really beat the whole nostalgia thing with like video games. Just in general, like probably nostalgia is the best thing in the world.
Oh, nostalgia.
But you also hate it because it's like, oh, we're getting old.
Never get that time back.
Yeah, never get that time back, especially playing Terraria. You'll never be able to play that game again blind. So, yeah, we're going to wrap things up here on this episode of Drive Time Discussion Time. This is the first time I've had a special guest on this podcast, which is crazy because this podcast has been going on for quite some time now.
Yeah.
And we'll be back. Me and Brody will be back to discuss anime. So if you want to hear Brody's taste in anime, which, well, that's going to get real spicy probably. Please tune in next Wednesday, and we will discuss anime. All right. I'm Taylor Frey, and I'm signing off. Good night.